Jonathan here, and welcome to Learn to Playthrough, and welcome back to the playthrough of Mansions of Madness, 1st edition, Story 1, The Fall of House Lynch. We're now going to be continuing on with round 13, but first let's go ahead and do a recap to see what happened last time. Well, due to the passing of our recent investigator, Harvey Walters, we now have a new investigator in the group, Michael McGlenn. So last time Michael McGlenn had arrived and set up shop by pulling out and assembling his Tommy gun. Meanwhile, Jenny was upstairs in the master bedroom, covering up Harvey with a sheet and saying her goodbyes. She turned around and was going to go and pick up the items that Harvey had dropped when the keeper went ahead and interrupted her. The keeper played a mythos card called a reflection. So when Jenny was in the master bedroom and she looked in a mirror, she did not see her reflection. With that, it started freaking her out and it caused her a horror. And with that, the keeper was able to play an insanity trauma card on her called Panic, which gave him the ability to move Jenny 3 spaces. So Jenny forgot about the items, ran out of the master bedroom, through the hallways, and out the door onto the top of the stairway in the foyer. So then she ran back to the master bedroom to go get those items, the magic phrase, the clue, and the puzzle box with the cryptic runes on it. When she got back to the master bedroom, she didn't pay much attention, and then another maniac came flying out of the closet and started to attack her. By this time, Michael had made his way up and he was outside the hallway when he saw that the maniac was attacking Jenny. Now, though Michael McGlenn had just gotten to the mansion, he's already been subjected to several horror encounters. And not doing too good, he's failed them, which has given him several horrors already. And he doesn't have that many sanity points. And after receiving his second horror, that put him to 4 sanity, which gave the keeper the ability to play a insanity trauma card, Dementia, on him. And with that, that made him discard all of his skill points. And he had 3 skill points, and now he has 0. So now with that second maniac out there, causing trouble with the investigators and having them wasting time, it seems that the keeper has been doing a great job by holding the investigators at bay. So pretty much the investigators have lost the last 2 rounds in doing nothing. So now let's go ahead and continue on with round 13. So at the beginning of the round, the investigators are up first, and we're going to go ahead and start with Michael McGlenn. So Michael McGlenn, for his turn, he's got the 2 movement steps and the action step. So he's going to start off right off the bat with an action step, and he's going to attack. So he's going to go ahead and use his Tommy gun and attack the maniac. So we go ahead and get the combat deck with the blue for the humanoid, and he's going to be doing his Tommy gun with a ranged weapon. So we go ahead and look for a ranged attack, and we get no weapon. Discard that one. A sharp melee weapon. Nope. And a ranged weapon. Here we go. So it says, on pure instinct and adrenaline, you fire instantly. Test marksmanship. Alright. So we go ahead and look at Michael McGlenn's marksmanship. It's a 7. And he's just firing instinctively. He's not really concentrating, so he can't use any skill points. And of course, he lost all his skill points, so he definitely can't use them. So he needs to roll a 7 or less. And we get a 6. Excellent. So Michael McGlenn makes contact with his Tommy gun and he passes. And it says, he screams as a bullet is buried in his leg. Deal weapon damage -1 and stun the monster. Well, we know from last time after dealing the 5 damage that the Maniac had 6 points for his health. So weapon damage -1. His Tommy gun deals 3 points of damage. -1 is 2. So the Maniac has been blown away and goes flying against the wall. So with the Maniac down and out of the way, Michael McGlenn tells Jenny to go ahead and get your stuff. I'll go make sure that no monsters come out in the hallway here. So with that, that's going to end Michael McGlenn's turn. And next up is Jenny Barnes. So Jenny Barnes has 2 movement steps and an action step. So then we'll go ahead and start with Jenny's movement step. Jenny's going to go ahead and take 1 movement. She comes into the master bedroom, and then when she's in the master bedroom, she'll go ahead and do her action step, and she'll go ahead and explore. So she'll go ahead and she'll find the 2 items that Harvey had dropped, which is the clue number 2, which is a journal entry, and a magic phrase. So she'll take those. And then she'll also grab the puzzle box that has the runic symbols on it. And then she'll go ahead and use her last step to go ahead and move out of the master bedroom and meet back up with Michael McGlenn. So then with that, that will end Jenny's turn. So next up is the keeper turn. Step 1, investigator trading step. Well, our investigators are together in the same space, but it looks like they really don't have items that they really need to trade with each other. So we'll go ahead and skip that step and go on to step 2, gain threat step. So with 2 investigators out there, the keeper is going to get 2 threat tokens. So we'll add it to the other 3 for a total of 5 threat tokens. And next we have step 3, keeper action step. Okay, so the keeper is looking over the whole situation here. He knows it's coming down to the wire. He needs to get to that last event card so that he can go ahead and win. But he doesn't really have enough threat tokens because the investigators are together. He'd have to spend 2 to do uncontrollable urges to get them to split, but then he'd have to do another 4 to bring another maniac out. So with that, he would need at least 6 threat tokens. So he's not going to do any commanding of the minion of the zombie that's down in the basement, so he'll leave that be. He could do an evil presence to bring out a mythos and a trauma card, and hopefully he gets the correct ones that can cause some real damage. But the keeper's deciding that he's not going to take the chance, and that will end that step. And now we'll move on to step 4, monster attack step. Well, we only have 1 monster, and that's a zombie down in the basement. And the zombie really can't attack anything since the investigators are up in the hallway. So we'll go ahead and skip step 4, monster attack step. And then we'll move on to step 5, event step. So we'll go ahead and get 1 time token. We'll put that on the event deck. And with that, that is going to fulfill the requirements for card number 4, which says it needs 3 time tokens. So we go ahead and remove the 3 time tokens off of the event card. And let's see what we got for number 4. Clock strikes 1. The fall of House Lynch. Reveal objective. Alright. And then it gives you the answers to question 1, A, B, and C. Now the keeper chose the answer to number 1 as 1A. So let's read what it has to say. 1A, the ground shakes violently. Place 1 time token on the next event card. Nice. So we'll go ahead and get a time token, and we'll put that on the event card. So it's just like the mansion just went through daylight savings time. So it just sprung ahead an hour. So it looks like, wow, I'm going to have to do some real evaluating, because in 2 rounds, the event card is going to be fulfilled with its final time token, and this is going to be really close down to the final line here. So we'll see what happens here. So that's going to end the keeper turn. So let's go ahead and move on to round 14. So at the beginning of the round, our investigators are up. And let's go ahead and start with Jenny Barnes. So Jenny Barnes is going to get her 2 movement steps and an action step. So she knows that she needs to get down to the basement. So she takes her first movement step and moves into this space with the fire and smoke. Because there's fire in that room, she's going to have to test her willpower to see if she can make it through there okay without freaking out. So Jenny's got a willpower of 7. So she needs to roll a 7 or less. Oh! So Jenny gets an automatic failure. And she's going to go ahead and take 1 horror. And she makes her way through there, and maybe she spots that body that was on fire before still twitching, so she's kind of freaking out still. So that's her first movement in there. Second movement, she's going to go ahead and move out onto the top of the stairway in the foyer, making sure she doesn't step on that loose floorboard. And then she's going to go ahead and do her action step. For her action step, she's going to go ahead and do a run. So she'll be able to move another space. She moves down to the bottom of the stairwell, ready to continue up the second set of stairs. So that's going to end Jenny's turn. Next we move on to Michael McGlenn. So Michael McGlenn, he's right behind Jenny, right on her tail, and he's going to go ahead and do 2 movement steps and an action step. So for his movement step, he's going to go ahead and do 1 movement through the fiery room, and then he'll have to go ahead and test his willpower. He's got a willpower of 8. And he gets a 6. So the twitching, burning body doesn't bother him that bad. He must have been a firefighter of some sort in his younger days. So he makes it past the first movement step, goes to the second movement step on the top of the stairwell there. And then we move on to his action step. So he'll go ahead and just still follow Jenny, and for his action step he'll do a run, and he'll move that extra space down to here. And with that, that will end Michael McGlenn's turn. Next up is going to be the keeper turn. So the keeper's watching over everything, and he sees that the time has sped up a little bit, and he's pleased with that. He just now knows that I just got to slow him down a little bit more and everything would be fine. But actually, I think I'm just going to let them run their own path, because I believe that I'm going to be triumphant. So with that, we move on to step 1, investigator trading step. Well, the investigators are in the same space, so they can trade, but they don't really have anything that each other needs. So we're going to go ahead and skip step 1. Step 2, gain threat step. So with 2 investigators, the keeper is going to gain 2 threat tokens. So we'll add them to the 5, so now the keeper has a total of 7 threat tokens. And now we move on to step 3, keeper action step. So we look at our keeper action cards, and command minion will keep the zombie down in the basement. Doesn't look like we really need to do an evil presence to bring out any more mythos or trauma cards. And to take the sample, the monster is too far away. And then the keeper could do uncontrollable urges to separate them in the foyer and then bring the maniac attack upon them. But the keeper, he might have like 0.1% goodness in his heart, that on the joking side, he wants to see the investigators see what is happening before he takes them down. So with that, the keeper is going to go ahead and end his turn. So that ends step 3, keeper action step. Let's go ahead and move on to step 4, monster attack step. Well, the only monster we have is the zombie, who's over there in the basement, so too far away, so we'll go ahead and skip step 4. And we'll move on to step 5, event step. So we got ourselves a time token here, and this should have been the first one to put on card number 5, which says that it needs 3 time tokens before we can go ahead and look at it. But because of the last event card, it said to reveal the objective, and then we place 1 time token on the event card. So that's what that one was for. We put a next one on here. So with that, that's going to end step 5, event step, and then that will end the keeper turn. So this is going to end our 14th round and our video. So come on and join us next time as we continue to learn to play through Mansions of Madness, 1st edition, Story 1, The Fall of House Lynch.